my first approach is, if you want to be successful in your career, you want to be a good engineer, learn from Mother Nature. When you look at this slide, you will see the food chain where the food is being prepared in the plant, the producer, which is eaten by the herbivore and the next level carnivore. So when you look at that carefully, everyone is taking food, but there's a more important thing, there's energy and material transfer happen from one level to other level. That's what you learn in the first law of thermodynamics. And whatever is, you see that when there is energy transfer happen from one level to other level, only a 10% of energy is transferred. That is the law of entropy. That's what you learn in the thermodynamics. Then finally whatever is kept left in the system, get converted into elemental form by the bacteria and fungi. If you look at nature, there is nothing called waste. Then where do you see waste? I'm asking a question. Where do you see waste?
Humans generate waste.
Very good. Where waste people are there. Okay. So who are those waste people? The people who are fallen in love with the synthetic material, with the plastic, etc. So they are the waste fellows. When there are other approaches, for example, there is a plastic bottle with the water is sitting on it. So as a student of science, you should just analyze that water, and you will be surprised to see there will be a traces of dioxin in that water. Dioxin is a carcinogen which introduces cancer. My guess is the persons who continuously have the water through those bottled, this plastic bottle, are bound to have the serious health consequences. That is for them. And because of their irresponsible behavior of use of plastic bottle, they throw it in the system, and we will have the problem with the management of the solid waste. And we throw it in the ocean, we throw it in the riverbed, etc. In the process of photo degradation, it will convert into microplastic, and the recent report says that they have found microplastic even in the blood of the humans. So that means whatever the mistake we do is coming back to us. Okay? So let us be careful on that. My agenda of science is to ensure whatever experiments I do, whatever research I do, my idea is to ensure that our children have clean air, water and the environment. Okay? So now I am going to cover 3 topics today: energy, environment and the water. And in each of this sector, how we have done the innovative science to benefit the society. See, whatever you do, if benefit the society, and if you see smile on the face of the societal members, then the purpose of science is met. So now when you look at the energy sector, one of the common argument by the experts, pseudo-experts, is that the per capita energy consumption in our country is very low. We need to increase the per capita energy consumption. That is the foolish thing. See, though per capita energy consumption is low, you look at our efficiency, energy per GDP. When you see energy per GDP, we are 14 times higher than Sweden, 12 times higher than Japan, 10 times higher than US, which means for producing the same product, we are consuming 14 times higher energy than the Swedish fellows, and 12 times higher than the Japanese, and 10 times higher than the Americans. That means our focus should be on conservation of energy or the end use efficiency. So that's what I have talked about. So all this I have published, okay, those who want can go through the published literature. Because of the time constraint, I give you the glimpse of the work that we have carried out. Now, when you look at the total energy consumption in our state or in the country, slowly renewable energy is picking up in the country. Okay? What are the renewable sources of energy we talk about? Solar, wind, bioenergy, etc. So as a biotechnologist, you have a role to play in some of this sector. For example, This is solar panel you would have seen. When I started my career, when I talked about solar energy, the critics told me solar energy is not a viable source. But today, gentlemen sitting in the last row, you talk to me, don't disturb your neighbor. I don't like this in the classroom. So now, there are 130 days, cloudy days, that was the comment. But when I did the analysis of the potential of the solar energy, I found that this country is endowed with the rich sources of energy throughout all the country, throughout year. That is where I published an article saying hotspots of solar energy. And also I said what are the viable technologies, how to convert the solar energy into either the electricity using PV cells or through the for hot water heating through the parabolic reflectors, etc. Now, when I talked about this, of course, I was a member of the Karnataka Government Renewable Energy Committee. I said that we need to introduce the generation-based incentive. That means if you generate electricity, supply to the grid, you have to be paid some money. I had proposed 3 rupees 50 paisa kind of a thing. But finally, when we arrived at it was 9 rupees 54 paisa. And at that time, those institutions and individuals who had MOU with the agency for 25 years, even today they are getting 9 rupees 54 paisa per unit of energy, what they generate and supply to the grid. Okay? So now this has become quite mature. Now the Prime Minister has announced the Solar Gruha. If you have the solar rooftop and generate it into the electricity and supply to the grid, you are benefited. At the same time, there are some subsidy for you so that you can use that. You can have the unit up to 300 units of generating electricity from the solar panel. That is they have fixed that 300 units per family so that you can use the solar energy to generate electricity. Now, you look at the resources what we have. You see that during if you look at the solar potential, you will see only during July you have a lower solar energy. But during that time, the wind potential is quite high. Now, if you can hybridize these two, the solar and wind, you have the energy for throughout the year. So then we did the potential assessment for the entire country, the solar and wind, and we said what kind of technology can be used. Then the other aspect is the bioenergy. Our study shows that the 90% of the rural population use the chulas. Even today they are inefficient. By introducing the energy efficient chula, designed based on the optimization of the conduction, convection, and radiation, you can save the fuel to an extent of about 42%. That is popularly known as Astra stove. That was designed at IISC and is quite popular in Karnataka. Then also another this one we looked at is the solar biomass gasification. You convert the biomass into the gas, syngas, and then convert it into the electricity. And now that is also the rural electrification. 2 decades back, it was a successful program in some of the villages in Karnataka. Even today, there are some places people use this technology. Now, when you look at the hydro energy, we did the assessment to find out where are the mini micro hydro projects are possible, especially in the regions like Chikmagalur, Kodagu, etc. You have the small falls, how to convert that kinetic energy into the electricity and how much you can generate. We talked about it and we identified the location where you can generate the thing. That publication is also available online about the hydro energy. Now, we also gave an alternative to the mega dam. The job of a scientist is not a single government. We need to think differently every alternative. That's what we do. So, you get a glimpse of all the sectors what we have worked over the last 200 decades in my 1 hour presentation. See, one of the challenge was the mega dams. Now, mega dams, when you construct, it submerges a large area of land. So, in one such case, at the Uttar Kannada district, we found that it was submerging a dam of height of 107 meters would have submerged 10,000 hectares of the forest. 10,000 hectares of land, that is most of them are the forest land. Then the local people were not comfortable with the government design. They said that there is going to be a large scale submersion of the forest, as well as the people will lose their houses, etc. In fact, they approached us asking that whether we can give the alternative to that. Then what I did is I gave an alternative where I reduced the dam height. My agenda was to generate electricity as much as possible during the monsoon. Okay? And then store some amount of water which is, which can generate electricity which is required for the nearby areas, the nearby villages, etc. So when I brought down that the height of the dam to the 67 meter, the submersion area came down to the 500 hectares. That means 9,500 hectares of forest I have said. Now look at the bioenergy potential of those 9,500 hectares of forest. In those villages, the people use the fuel wood for their day-to-day activities. If you are from Uttar Kannada, Shimoga or Dakshin Kannada, you will understand what I am saying. And they use on average about 1.5 kg per person per day, the fuel wood kind of this one. Then I looked at from the 9,500 hectares of forest which I have saved because of this design, what is the kind of the bioenergy is available? It's about 500 million units. See, and second principle we had in our design was no compromise on the electricity generation. Whatever the electricity they were generating with the big dam, which was submerging a 10,000 hectares of forest, was 812 million units. The same amount of electricity is generated using the tidal. But only the thing is, instead of generating throughout the year the same amount of the energy, what we did is during the monsoon, higher amount of energy, and then during lean season, the lower amount of energy. So that's how we could save the quantum of forest that otherwise would have got submerged. Then in the meanwhile, I also identified the locations where we can have mini, micro, small hydro project, which is about 650 million units. Now in the place of the 812 million units with a large scale project, with a large scale damage to the forest, I have come up with a proposal where you will get 812 million units because of the hydro energy. Then because of saving the forest, you have 500 million units of the bioenergy. And in addition to that, 650 million units because of the mini, micro, small hydro project. Okay, that model is accepted by the government of Karnataka. Now some mini, micro, small hydro projects have come up in the region. Now the next thing is, since I work with the water, I also looked at the algae. We found that algae has the higher productivity, and it also has the oil. So now can we capitalize on that oil in this one, that lipid in the algae. We started thinking on those lines. My thinking was something different. We should get the algae. You can think about this concept, and if you succeed, you can let me know. See, algae has oil. Okay. Now, if you want to extract that lipid out of the algae, it involves some energy expenditure. Instead of that, if you can make algae to secrete the oil, you have done your job. That energy you would have saved. Okay? Now that is what we looked at, that's where we wrote an article called milking diatoms. Like catchers, you get the milk, that is a similar way, milking diatoms. Diatoms are the group of algae, bacillophyceae, they have the higher amount of lipid. So then we started looking at where all we can get this algae. The algae are broadly categorized as a mini, micro and macro algae. In the ocean, you will get the macro algae, and micro algae you see in your home, in your the lake, wherever there is a water. Okay? Then how do you convert that into ethanol? Okay? Or the biodiesel. First, do the biochemical composition. Try to understand what does it consist of. If algae has more of carbohydrate, ideally it is suited for ethanol. If it has a lipid, then it is suited for biodiesel. Now our study shows that macroalgae has more of the carbohydrate, so that's where we looked at. And then we noticed Many people just work with a repository algae. They do not want to go to the field, collect the sample. See, we are from a land where diversity of algae is there, diversity of microorganisms are there, diversity of other organisms are there. If we venture into the field, certainly you will get the strain which is optimal. You know, that's what we did in the Uttar Kannada district and Dakshina Kannada district of Karnataka coast. What all macroalgae are available? We looked at first what are the species that are there. Then those species, what is there in our region. Where else it is available? We did the global assessment also. This gives the map, okay? And these are some of the species. Then the next part is we did the biochemical assessment of the algae to find out what percentage of the carbohydrate, whether there is any variability from one species to one variety to the other variety. Then of course you have to, the algae has the polysugar, you have to split it into the simple sugar, monosugar, that is what we do it through the hydrolysis. But normally it is done with the chemical method. Okay? What we did was we thought let us do the enzyme hydrolysis to break that. Okay? Then once you have that, then you can ferment it, you have the ethanol. That ethanol you can blend it with the see, here also we are looking for some of the strains. See, I always encourage my student to think differently. There are strains which are available in the repository. I said that let us not use that. Even if we use, let us use that as a reference, this one, and we ask them. In fact, when I was traveling across the country, whichever place I used to go, I used to collect the fruit, bring it to the lab, so that they used to extract the yeast out of it, and that is used for fermenting this one. In the process, we found there are two strains which have the higher efficiency, the conversion. This one. That's why we narrowed down to that those two strains. This the entire thing is published in one of the very good journal, renewable and sustainable energy. So you can look at that. This one. Then the other aspect is the biodiesel from the diatom. As I said, the microalgae has the liquid. If you can break the cell through the sonication and then through transesterification, you can convert that liquid into the biodiesel. Okay, so that is where then we thought that let us try to use the transesterification, the biological biocatalyst instead of the other catalyst. So that is where we did something different. See, when you do something different, when you have a success, the smile is on your side. So that is what you should think as a youngster. Your approach should be different from what others do. Doing the same thing what others do will not give you the satisfaction or will not give you the brain much job. Okay. So now, with that, let me take you to the next part of my talk about the ecosystem and environment. I work extensively in this domain. I work in the Western Ghat. My home is the Western Ghat. The entire region we wander, Kerala to Gujarat, we wander. Now you all know that we have only one earth. Do you dispute that, my statement? Whether we have only one earth or the multiple earth? Only one. You all had breakfast? Show a little bit of energy so that I will also get excited, you will get a better thing. So otherwise I will talk like other speakers and just go home. But my purpose is not that. When I speak and leave the place, at least 2 students should take up my area of research. That is the purpose of me coming to the places wherever youngsters are there. Now, we have only one earth. Okay? What is the diversity of plants and animals that are there on the earth? If you want to know, as per the science, we have estimated about 1.5 million species are there on the earth. But look at the scripture. Rigveda talks about 8 to 12 million species. They have even accounted microorganisms. Okay? But whereas in our science, we have not done that kind of the refinement. Now, which part of the earth has the highest number of the varieties of plants and animals when you look at it on the latitudinally? You will see in this range, you have the highest number of plants and animals. that corresponds to 8 to 14 degree latitude, which corresponds to Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Goa part of the Western Ghats. That means some of us have inherited such a rich diversity of plants and animals. It's our responsibility to give this diversity to our next generation so that they can do the wonders. You might ask, what is the use of this diversity? You know, when you have diverse plants and animals, you have diverse food. When you have diverse food, your body will get immunity, and because of that you will have health. Okay, that is the result. So now, what changes are happening in the system in the Western Ghats? If you want to use the science, we use the remote sensing data to understand what changes are happening in the earth. You know, we launched the satellite way back in 70s, which goes on taking a pictures of the earth at 21 or 30 days interval. Now, if you have a picture of yourself 5 years back and today, you can make out what changes have happened in your facial features, etc. Now, similarly, if I have a picture of the earth, I can find out what percentage of the land is covered with the forest, agriculture, etc. and how much forest we are losing or agriculture land is increasing, etc. Now, earlier to do this analysis, it used to take about 6 to 8 months to do it for one district. Okay, but today, because of the machine learning algorithm with the artificial intelligence, you know, the entire Western Ghats, my students did it in 6 months. So that means the advancement in technology has enabled us to do the job faster. You know, that is what is the advantage you have to take care. And now when you look at this, the data, what we have analyzed, the big data with the AI and ML is that you see that forest is decreasing because green is decreasing. The green are the forests, okay? Yellow is the open area or the reserve. And not only the forest is decreasing, forests are also getting fragmented. That means we are losing the forest. We are not only losing the forest, we are even breaking the forest. You know, in between we construct the road, we go and occupy the zone, etc. Okay? Now, you know, one of the surveys done by the forest is the thing. See, you are all paid based on what is the amount of service you are going to do, give to the system. So that's how you are being paid, and this one. You know, now what is the amount you have to pay to the forest if it is doing the service? Now take one example. You know, forest provide you the benefit of fuel, timber, etc. That is tangible benefit. Another service provided by the forest is regulatory services, which include oxygen production, that is carbon sequestration, etc. I'm sure you all remember the photosynthesis. I am not getting into the details of that. Am I right? Or you have forgotten after some time what is photosynthesis? I'm asking for an answer. Everyone is looking at the other person. I don't know whether they are thinking that oh, this is a simple question, why he is asking. Or if he asks me, how will I answer? I have forgotten the concept. I don't know what is happening in the body. Okay. So anyway, coming back to the subject, you know, during photosynthesis, the vegetation in the presence of sunlight absorb the carbon dioxide, convert that into oxygen, and then you have the carbon stored in the form of glucose in the plant form. Now, if you quantify how much carbon is stored, you know, per year, you know, what is the service the plants are giving. You know, we did the quantification of that. How do you assess the carbon stored in the plant? You cut the tree, you weigh it, then you know what is the biomass. 50% of that biomass is the carbon. Now, but that is a destructive sample. What is the other way of doing it? See, we have found the relationship between a tree and the girth and height of a tree. You know, when people cut the tree for road widening or the hydroelectric project, we go and measure the girth and height based on the species. We find out what is the relationship between the girth, height and the biomass. Now that is a non-destructive way of doing the experiment. We did that experiment for the entire Western Ghats. You know, we divided Western Ghats into 5 minutes by 5 minutes grid, 9 km by 9 km grid. In each grid, we did that quantification. We know that which part of the Western Ghats has a higher amount of the carbon sequestration capability. Now, our study shows that Western Ghats is has stored 1.23 million gigagram of carbon, and every year it is sequestering about 37,000 gigagram of carbon, which is equivalent to the emission that is happening in Trivandrum, Cochin, Bangalore, etc. That means nature knows how to balance it. And if you give the social cost to the carbon at $80 per ton, it amounts to about 100 billion rupees or $1.4 billion. Look at the service provided by the forest in the Western Ghats. You might ask, what is the use of this number? See, when I represent my country in the international meeting, I always tell them, this is the carbon that you people have emitted. You know, the Europeans, Americans, etc. because of the industrialization. And as our earth is only, we have only one earth and one atmosphere. Whatever they have emitted, forests in our country have done the job of removing the carbon. That's how they are reducing the carbon footprint in the atmosphere. And for that service, they should pay this much money, 100 billion rupees to our reservoir. See, that's how we get the money for the conservation. You know that how the science is done so that it can go to the policy making and also convince the wider section of the society. Okay, now we also predicted what is likely to happen because we have done the changes over a long time. Once you have the historical data, you can also predict what is likely to happen in the 10 or 20 years down the line. So then we looked at what are the consequences of that. You know, one is that when you look at Western Ghats, Kerala will become warmer. If it becomes warmer, it will have more and more vector-borne diseases. You know, when the temperature increases, naturally you will see the vector-borne diseases, contagious diseases will start increasing, chikungunya, dengue, etc. You know, that is the reason for the schools closed during the summer is because when the temperature increases, the possibility of spread of the contagious diseases are there. They don't want the children to be vulnerable. That's where that concept has come. Now, if the entire year if that temperature increases, can we keep the children in our home only? Which is impossible. That is what is going to happen. And then the rainfall pattern will change. Kerala receives the highest amount of rainfall. We start getting the lower rainfall. But arid region in Karnataka will receive the higher rainfall. That is going to be tragic. And other thing is, you know, over a period of time, okay. You know, the rainfall is spread across the 4 months during the monsoon, Karnataka, and 6 to 8 months during in the Kerala. Now, instead of rain spread across 4 to 6 months, what will happen is, the rain will come in a short duration. You will have a higher amount of water in a short duration, which we call it as high intensity rainfall. When high amount of rainfall happens, you will have the floods with that landslide, mudslide. That is what happened in the Wayanad. You know, when we wrote this article in 2018, if you read that article, I had written a paragraph saying that with this kind of changes, the Kodagu and Karnataka and Kerala will face the major crisis of landslides and mudslides. As we predicted in 2019, the landslide happened with a large scale devastation, and again it repeated last year. Again, the same paper people started looking at it, but they do not take the suggestion into the account and come up with the remedial measures. Okay, so but don't be disappointed. What I didn't succeed, that's an opportunity for you. So you can solve the thing. So then, how we can make the decision maker to understand this concept what we did is we developed the decisions about system. You know, we divided the entire Western Ghats in 5 minutes by 5 minutes grid. In each grid, what is the percentage of forest, what is the species of plants, animals, the water, etc. we quantified. And we assign the weight to the grid depending on the result. For example, see here the entire you see the grid wise the forest cover is there. If the forest cover is high, we have given the weight of 10. Like that, based on the extent of the forest, etc., we have given the weights. And similarly for the other parameter, then you know the flora and fauna. We have done the study in the entire Western Ghats over the last 1 decade. We have the huge database. So we know that what kind of plants are there, what kind of animals are there. Based on that, you know, endemic status. Endemic means it occurs only in that location. So if it is there, you will assign higher weights to that. Like that, all these layers, you know, you have multi-layer with all the grids assigned with the weight. You just add all of them. Then like your the transcript, no, you have the consolidated score. So that's what, based on that, you divide the score into 4 levels, you know, then we declare that as ESR 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when you look at the plants, you know, the endemic species of trees are more in Kerala, then Karnataka, then Tamil Nadu. Okay? Then similarly, if you look at endemic species of fauna, endemic means they occur only in that location. The Karnataka has a higher endemic fauna, followed by Kerala, and then the other part of the Western Ghats. Okay? Then we develop the decision support system, which is available online, so that you can visualize whether your village is ecologically sensitive. Now, if you want to see that, see, if you click on that, so you should be able to visualize this one. See, you will get this one. Okay? So now the entire Western Ghat you can visualize, but if you want to see the river state, you can choose the state. I will choose Kerala. Okay? So now in Kerala, at village level, you will get ecologically sensitive region, ESR 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can choose the district. I choose by now. Okay. Then I choose the taluk, which has a devastating effect. See, these are ESR 1, this is ESR 2, this is ESR 3. And I also choose the village, which is the major crisis. When you look at that, where the landslide, mudslide happened, it is ecologically sensitive region 1. Had we protected it, we wouldn't have lost those 150 families in the Wayanad region. Okay? So now, if you want to know why it is ecologically sensitive, it is available there. And all the data what we have used to do this, we have put it online. We don't worry about confidentiality and all those things. Whatever I have done, I said, let us put it. Because every day we think differently. There's no need for me to stick to that earlier data and then say, no, I will do it, tomorrow I will publish it. If I have done the study yesterday, my students have done, today we publish it, tomorrow we think differently, new domain. That's how we work, okay, at IISC. Okay, now you understood the thing. See, this portal, I launched it on July 14. When I was invited to deliver a K.V. Subbanna Memorial Lecture at Shumunga in a small village. My agenda was if I do it in a village, whether it will reach the Delhi. As I anticipated, within a month, there was a question in the parliament about this app. Okay, not only that, Government of India sends a committee of experts, committee of members, the expert members to my lab. Then they listened to me, they understood what is the Western Ghat, what are the ecological sensitiveness. They said that I highlighted one aspect, carbon sequestration. I said that if we conserve Western Ghat, we will get the carbon credit. They said, oh, this is an important point, we will tell the minister whom we are meeting tomorrow. The next day, they met the forest minister. They told forest minister, Karnataka government will get lot of money if we conserve Western Ghat. Immediately he was excited when he heard money for carbon. He said, okay, I will accept Kasturangan committee report. My agenda was to see that conservation happen. That is where, earlier there were two reports, Madhav Gadgil committee report and Kasturangan committee report. None of these fellows were acting on that. And this report had a list of the villages. The Supreme Court asked the state government to give the list of the villages which are ecologically sensitive. None of the state government was doing it. When I came to know from the green bench of the Supreme Court, I felt that I should do it and make it available to the public so that even the Supreme Court will know which are ecologically sensitive. Now that's how we make this data available to the judiciary so that the wise decisions are taken. Okay? We also developed the app in a Google Play Store. If you do the search, the psychiatry, you will get this app. Or this is the QR code, you can scan it, you can download this and visualize the Western Ghat. Okay? And we also looked at what is the work of the forest. For the United Nations, I did the study. I had done this, the ecosystem services assessment for one district in Karnataka and published it in 2017. Seeing that publication, United Nations approached me and asked me whether I can repeat that for 10 districts in Karnataka and following the protocol what they have developed, which is similar to what I had used for Uttar Kannada district. Then 2019 was the time. Then when I signed the MOU, the next year, immediately within a month, I saw the COVID hitting the streets. And everyone had to be inside, indoor, etc. was happening. But this involves a lot of field work. In a way, it helped us. So what happened was, otherwise I would have traveled to various places, giving lectures, committee meeting, etc. Because of the COVID, there was no invitations or happening. And I spent most of my time and my students' time in the lab. So we, not only 10 districts, we did it for the entire Karnataka, 30 districts. Then when the United Nations invited me to give the presentation on that, I told them that what is the kind of the work our forests in the Western Ghats in Karnataka is for the 30 district. They were surprised. Somebody from US asked me, I thought that Indians don't work. That is not true. Today's India is different from yesterday's India. We are more aggressive, we are more intellectually enabled population now, and we do better and we show that to the entire world. So that's what the current generation is doing, and to train them, that's where we have to give this kind of a medicine so that they can improve this further and take it forward. Okay? So now, in the meanwhile, the speaker also came to me asking whether I can publish this as a book. See, now you see the multiple benefit. Not only I went and represent a country in United Nations, I also had an opportunity to publish. That's where when you do a good job, these are the benefits you will get it. Now, see, how do we quantify? The provisioning, regulating, as I said earlier. Then we came up with what is the worth of the forest in Karnataka. See, at 2019 price, the worth of the Karnataka in 2005 is 2,841 billion rupees, which has come down to 1,835 billion rupees in 2019. That is mainly because we have lost 35% of the forest. And if you see that every year we are getting this much money from the forest, 1,835 billion rupees every year from the forest. Now, you just see, if you keep 1,000 rupees in a bank, at 10% interest every year, you will get 100 rupees, approximately. Now, to get 100 rupees, you have to get 1,000 rupees principal amount. Similarly, if you are getting 1,835 billion rupees every year, you see the worth of the forest. That is called NPV, net present value. So, we did that. And we showed that the forest ecosystem, which is 73,000 billion rupees in 2005, has come down to 47,000 billion rupees because of the degradation of the forest. We have lost that much forest in Karnataka over the last 3 decades or 4 decades. Because of the removal of timber and other resources from the forest. Now with that, let me come to the Bangalore, because all of you are in Bangalore. You will see what is the science I am doing for the Bangaloreans, okay? And of course, we enjoyed the Bangalore. 1970s as a kid, we enjoyed the Bangalore. That Bangalore is not available to you all, okay? Now let us see how the Bangalore works. Bangalore is today 740 square kilometer. When Kempegowda was there, during that period we had 1,452 water bodies and 80% green cover. Because of that, during May month the temperature in Bangalore was 14 to 16 degrees Celsius. And not only that, during December we had a few days the temperature of 0 degrees. We were growing apples in a place called Palace Orchard closer to the IISC. Now it is called Bangalore Palace Ground. Today what are we growing in Bangalore? Waste and waste. That's it. So now, today number of water bodies is about 216 and temperature is about 36 to 38 degrees Celsius. Okay, the city has become in 90s it became a garbage city, and today it is the dead city. Okay, now why do we require lakes? Okay, because lakes also gives you the microorganism. You can do a lot of science with that. That's the other aspect, and it gives you the water. Okay, to establish that, and we monitored 193 lakes in Bangalore. My 3 students have done it for the entire Bangalore. In fact, probably I am the only person in Bangalore who had tasted the sewage of everyone in Bangalore. Because all the lakes are sewage fed. When we go and do the work, naturally that sewage contaminated water comes to our hands. Okay, it is not that I directly drink it. We made this data available to the public. When you can visualize lake-wise, what is this water quality, what kind of algae is there, what kind of fish is there, and not only that, what is the worth of the lake, and who has encroached, how much they have encroached. That also we have put it online. Okay. Now, see, let us look at the services provided by the lake. When the lake was there, people were getting the water at 80 to 100 feet. When the lake was removed, Within 6 years, the groundwater table went down to the 500 feet. And today, after 23 years, people have gone down 1,800 feet and there is no water. This is a story of Nakshetti Halli. You might ask, suppose if I manage my lake, will I get the water? See, for example, Saraki Lake. Local people took initiative to remove the encroachment through the code and they pushed the government to rejuvenate the lake. I was a member of the committee. And when the desilting was done, within a year the groundwater table went up by 300 feet. Not only that, last year when entire Bangalore faced a severe water crisis and heat wave, Saraki Lake, because there was enough water in the lake as well as groundwater table is so good, there was a high moisture content. The temperature in that region was at least 2 to 3 degrees lower than the surrounding cities' temperature. And groundwater table was very good, less than 500 feet. That means if you rejuvenate the lake, you will get the water. That's what this study shows. So that's what is highlighted here. And see, this is what the statistics shows, Saraki Lake. Okay. Now let us look at it from the economic point of view. Because always people assess the worth of the other person by how much he knows, not by that. How much he earns. If a dumb fellow earns 1 billion rupees, he was given a royal welcome. Whereas the other people, even if they are competent, they may not get the same kind of the treatment as this dumb fellow gets. Now, let us find out the lake. What is its worth in a simple term? People get fish, fodder, groundwater, etc. When you quantify that, we were surprised to see that per day, per hectare, the worth is about 10,500 rupees. Highly productive ecosystem. And when we pollute the lake, it comes down to 20 rupees per day per hectare. Who are the people who get affected because of this? Because the people like fishermen, washerwomen and researchers like us depend on the lake. When there is a high productivity, that section of society gets the benefit. But when we pollute, that section loses their benefit. Okay? So now, I will not get into this, I have explained it. Now I will establish a link between the surrounding area, the vegetation cover and the water availability in the water body. Our study shows like this, okay? 91, when I was of your age, I had water in the region. But today, the same monsoon period, I don't have water. This is the change we have seen over a period of time. Now to understand this, we did a simple experiment. If the region is vegetation cover, if there is no vegetation cover, when there is a water body, whether there is a change in the rainfall pattern. We constructed a dam here at Linganmakki. With the construction of dam, what happened with the availability of water, people started coming and convert the forest into the agriculture area. Today it has become a barren area. This side, it is more a barren area, degraded land, and this side is the vegetation cover. Now you see where the rainfall pattern has changed. Download the 124 years rainfall data that is available online. Just do the rainfall analysis, divide into two time periods, 1901 to 1964 and 1965 to today. You will see that 1901 to 1964, the entire region was receiving the rainfall of 3,000 to 4,500. But today, 1965 to today, if you look at this part, continue to receive 3,000 to 4,500 millimeter rainfall, while this region receives 1,700 to 1,900 millimeter. That means 50% reduction in the rainfall has happened in a region where we have degraded, where forests continue to be there, rainfall is maintained there. That means we need to maintain the forest in the Western Ghats to have the rainfall. Now once you have rainfall, you have water in your lakes and river so that the food security is assured. Now we also did the experiment to find out how the water gets stored when it rains. Now we chose very representative this one. We chose a watershed dominated by native species forest. Another this one dominated by monoculture plantation like rubber, etc. Another one with the buildings and the other one degraded landscape. Like this we chose 32 landscape with a varied land cover. Then our study shows wherever native species forests are there, more than 60%, roots are diverse. Because native species forest is diverse, the roots are also diverse. When roots are diverse, soil microorganisms are diverse and abundant. When soil microorganism is diverse and abundant, it makes the soil porous and permeable. Now look at your domain, microbiology and biotechnology. There's a lot of opportunity if you do this kind of study. And when they are abundant and diverse, what happens when the soil becomes porous or permeable? When it rains, the water percolates, it fills this zone, which is saturated zone. Then it fills this zone, which is a wider zone. Then after filling water in these two layers, then only you see the water flowing in the river or stream for 4 months during monsoon. Then water that is stored here during the post-monsoon, it flows from here to the lake or river for the next 4 months. And during summer, the water stored here comes to this one for the next 4 months. That's how you have water for 12 months in the water body, provided if you have deposited enough water in the underlying layer. Now, to summarize what I said so far, see, this is the region where 12 months water is available. This is 8 months, this is 6 months, this is 4 months. Now, just overlay the vegetation cover. Wherever native species forests are there, 12 months water is available. Wherever forests are fragmented, depending on scale of fragmentation, you have 8 to 6 months of water. Wherever the forest cover is less than 30%, you have only 4 months. Okay. Now let us look at how it affects the livelihood of the people. The farmers in this region, because water is available throughout the year, they grow multiple crop or a cash crop. Their earning is 1,54,000 rupees per acre per year. Whereas in this region, where water is available for 4 to 6 months, they grow only one crop. Their earning is 32,000 rupees per acre per year. And another interesting thing, in this region, the yield of the crop is, for example, paddy is the 16 to 18 quintal per acre, whereas in this region, the yield is about 6 to 8 quintal per acre. We looked at what is the reason. Because of the forest, pollinators are abundant. You know, like honeybee, then butterfly, etc. are abundant, and that is where, you know, the pollination was efficient because of the yield of the crop is higher, whereas here pollinators are not abundant. See, now the government of India want to double the income of the farmer. You know, the best option is to maintain the integrity of the forest in the ecosystem. We have the yield and we have the water. Okay. Now, let me show you other this one. You know, the biodiversity. See, look at these dots. These are all the sloth, bear, tiger, etc. You know, they are all there where water is there for 12 months. Where water is not there, you know, 12 months, only I saw the two-legged animals there. You know, who are those two-legged animals?
Humans.
So, yes. Now, how you get the medicine, I will explain you now. See, these two species of fish we described in the Sharavati, they are new to science. I also found that it has a medicinal property. I felt that if I study it in another domain, let us say in Bangalore, I brought the species to the Bangalore, the sample, we cultured it. And then we analyzed the medicinal property. None of them had any medicinal properties like Bangalore has. That means if you want medicine in this way, you have to culture in its habitat. For that to grow in that habitat of that stream or river, it should have water 12 months. For that stream or the sun to have water 12 months, surrounding catchment area should have should have the forest of native species. You know, when the native species are there, you see that 60 to 70% of the rainfall get infiltrated. When we degrade the catchment with the name of development, you see that only 20 to 30% of the water get infiltrated. You know how much water you deposited in the underlying layer is the water available in your wells, rivers, etc. during the post-monsoon period. Okay? Now, you all know the frogs. Frogs are known as amphibians. Why do we call frogs as amphibians?
They will go in and water.
I was also in the swimming pool in the morning. Now I am. Can you call me as amphibians? Can you define me? See, as a student when you learn, please learn the concept thoroughly. Don't have a casual approach. Don't do the Google search with the mobile in the hand and whatever Google Mama gives you will, don't utter that. That's not correct. Okay? Now of course you didn't use a mobile now, but you have answered, probably you didn't think further.
They can feed on both land and
You know, the frog has 2 stages in the life cycle. You know, the juvenile stage is a tadpole stage where the habitat is the water. The next stage is adult stage, which is on the land. Now, if there is no water, the frog cannot have tadpole stage. But in a drier bed, we saw a frog. The younger ones were there in that area. We were surprised. How can it happen? When there is no water, how the frogs are reproducing? Then we were surprised to see after fertilization of the egg, the younger ones are coming out directly on 14th day. Then we thought that, okay, let us take it to the Bangalore, those fertilized egg and monitor it for a 14 days. As we saw that 14 days, the younger ones were moving out in our labs, etc. So that means these animals have learned how to get adapted to a situation of water crisis. We all have only one earth. If we continue to be irresponsible, we will not have water on the earth. And when there is no water on the earth, no one will survive on the earth. Whatever we talk about, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all the capabilities, we will not survive. Only this organism which has learned to get adapted to a situation will be this one. See, this is what the science is. You have to be the inquisitive, and you should do the experiment. See, if you look at my background and the kind of science I have done, I have gone to the social sciences, the life sciences, and engineering, all the concepts. In fact, you are unable to even make out what is my degree. That's where I told madam not to introduce. Can you tell me what's my degree? What's my huh? PhD is a doctorate, man. I'm saying undergraduate degree. Smile is good, but I want answer. Can you guess what's my degree? BSc Botany. BSc Botany. Okay, then. Okay, I'm an engineer by training, electrical and electronics. After that, I have done PhD in ecology. Okay, so he said I have a botany. Yes, I have the talent of botany also. Now, see, understanding this importance of the forest, our elders protected patch of forest as TVRAMACHANDra or sacred forest. In Kerala, it is called corn or cow, and in Goa, it is called rye. They place a God in that, thinking that the next generation, they knew that next generation is going to be irresponsible. To bring fear, they put God. But there are some fellows who don't believe in God. For such fellows, we have placed Daityas in that. You go to Kerala, you will see Daitya card also there. Okay? So now, look at Lord Shiva. As long as his head is covered with hair, he retains Ganga and gives the water. Similarly, when the earth is covered with a green forest, it retains the water. That's what my experiment showed. To summarize what I said so far, when Mother Earth is covered with a green saree of native species of vegetation, she retains the water for 12 months for the people. When we convert that saree into the synthetic saree of rubber or eucalyptus or other thing, she will retain water for 6 to 8 months. That means in the name of development, somebody would have done the rubber plantation. Only he will get the benefit, where the surrounding villages will lose the water for 4 to 6 months. When we degrade the forest with a forest cover less than 30%, we will have water only during the monsoon with landslides and mudslides, so that people can go to Lord Shiva very soon, without much effort. So that's what we are doing. Most of the thing in the name of development, we are sending more and more people early to the system. Okay. So now let us learn sustainability. So your 1 hour is over. Do you want me to continue for another 10 minutes, or should I stop it?
Continue.
Now let us learn sustainability. See, I learned sustainability from these ladies who are in the late 60s. Okay, the youngsters in the last row. I don't want you to talk. Okay? And use mobile. Please keep in mind, you are all wearing blue color dress. I will not point out more than that. Okay? Not you, your neighbor. Okay? So, they are in the 65 plus. What that lady does is, she goes under the water, spends 4 to 5 minutes, and collects a bucket full of bivalves. Bivalves are the marine organism which has a shell and the meat inside. Okay? Which is a market value. I also tried. After 1 minute, I couldn't survive. That means she is more healthier than me. Okay? Now, I asked her, I was curious, why you do not collect a second bucket? She told me in a good Kannada that, when I sell this bucket full of bivalves, these bivalves, what I have collected today, in the market I get 350 rupees, which is sufficient for me to run the family. They doesn't mean that you have to be responsible, okay? Just out of sight doesn't mean that I cannot make out as a teacher. Can you pull your chair and come this side? All of you, 4 of you, please come here. Please send them volunteers if you are there. Please send them here. All of them. Okay, what she told me is that when she says that biomass in the market, she earns 350 rupees. She said that 350 rupees is sufficient for me to run a family. But tomorrow, I will earn tomorrow. That is what sustainability is. Not more harvesting is the sustainability. You will see the people preparing a sustainability report in the classic paper report using too much of carbon without even understanding what is sustainability. Okay? Next time when I just come to your school or college, please maintain the decorum. Okay? Don't be like an old woman, sit behind the wall and chat among yourselves. Look at this old lady in my district. Okay? She taught me the sustainability. You people are teaching me how to waste my time in the classroom. Please don't do that, okay? Okay, now what are the threats to the lakes or water bodies? Let us try to understand. So now, see, the way the urbanization happened in Bangalore from 1973 to 2023. 1973, you know, I was a kid. The city was a garden city with 68% vegetation. 90, industrialization started. You know, with that we see changes happening with the buildings coming up. Then 99, 2000 with IT, BT sector coming up in the outskirts. Then intensification started happening. Then today, 2023, about 86% of landscape is covered with the buildings. You know, as per the norm, we are supposed to have 33% green cover, but what we have today is 3%. Okay, and that is, see, there has been an increase in concrete area. We have lost 88% vegetation, 79% of the water body. That's where I've been telling the government, enough is enough. Those who read newspaper, you know, I'm saying printed copy of the thing, and not the Google Mama's message. So you will know that my statements, okay? I've been writing articles, etc. Okay? Then, today we are facing the oxygen deficiency in the region. There are people of my age using the oxygen cylinder. That's a tragedy. You know, people in Rajaji Nagar using oxygen cylinder, you can imagine. Now today people use water bottle now. 20 years down the line, if you are carrying oxygen cylinder, I am not surprised. I hope I won't be there at the time to see such pathetic situation happening in the city of Bangalore. Okay? Now this is how concretization has happened in Bangalore. From 8% in 70s, it has become 86%. Now, I thought that this I have to give it to the government. That's when we developed Bangalore Urban Information System. You know, this is available to the public. You know, when there was a crisis last time, you know, somebody just cropped this portion of the thing. They prepared the video of that. And my talks, you know, if it has some 40,000 viewers, for that, this one, what he has talked presented in Hindi, without giving any due credit to this website or to me, the viewership is 9,75,000. So that's, I'm not unhappy. Look at the power of this information. See, that is what people are looking for. That is what as a youngster you need to come up with this kind of assessment. Okay? Then, let us see how many trees are there in Bangalore. You know, this is my campus, IISC campus. We have good tree cover. 22,000 trees are there. We have 5,000 people. For every person, 4 trees are there. We did the ground survey using GPS. We mapped the trees. Link that with the remote sensing data. Now, that kind of exercise we did it in a couple of hours. Then using remote sensing data for entire Bangalore, we extrapolated. We found that, you know, 1.5 million trees are there in Bangalore where population, stable population is 9.5 million. That means for every 7% there is 1 tree. Do you require tree? Yes. How many feel that you don't require tree? Can you raise your hand? That means all of you require tree. Okay. Next question I'll ask you, simple question. How many of you are not breathing? Huh? You are all breathing. Okay. That means you require trees for breathing or you don't require trees for breathing? Okay. Why do you require trees? Okay. Now, we found that when you breathe, you give out a carbon dioxide to an extent of 540 to 980 grams per person per day. You know, younger people 980 grams. The people of my age is 540 grams per person. per thing. Okay. Now 1 hectare of tree removes the carbon to an extent of 6 to 9 tons. By that ratio, for every human being, there should have been 7 to 8 trees. But what we have is 7% 1 tree. Okay. Now you will ask, you might get excited. Okay, TVR has given new information. I have not given the new information at all. It is already there in the literature. You read Bible. There's a mention about importance of the tree. That's when you know the Christmas day you have the tree and all those things. Why they do that? They prayer and all those things to respect to the tree. Okay. Then look at the Quran. You know, talks about imminent war if you pollute the water. So that's where in a dargah you have to wash your feet and finger with a clean water to visit the dargah. In dargah you will have a well where you have to collect the water fresh and wash your feet and finger. Then only you can go to the dargah, enter the inside dargah. They thought that if you practice in dargah, you will also practice at home and in the community. Look at our literatures. For example, Masya Purana brings out the linkage between the water, children and the tree. So powerful. You know, if you have a well at home, you are wealthy. 10 wells are equal to 1 lake. 10 lakes are equal to 1 reservoir. 10 reservoir is equal to 1 child, and 10 children are equal to 1 tree. That means benefit of having 10 children. You can also have it by planting and nurturing a sapling. Now I'll put it other way. Those who cut a tree, every cutting of the tree, they murder 10 children, their own children. Even if they are not there, they are doing that. See, that's how it becomes so powerful when you write an article. When I write an article, I take all these kinds of examples I write it. You might ask how successful you are. Once a forest officer came to my office. Whenever people come to my office, no, I always ask them to sit for a while. I won't speak to them. I know they are agitated because they have come in a Bangalore environment, the polluted environment. So I saw tears in his eyes. I asked him, sir, what happened? Whether my office is so bad or whether I am bad. He said, your office is not bad. Then he pulled out a paper from his bag and put it on my table. He said, because of you, the tears is there in my. I said, I write article, but I don't write article probably as some individual, but about the system I write. He said, you have written those who cut a tree are murdering the 10 children. Now I have to remove 179 trees because of the road winding. If I remove the trees, tomorrow you will write an article saying that I have murdered 1,790 children. You please give me the solution. If I don't do it, I lose the job. So then I told him, nearby there is a vacant land. Why don't you think of planting in 2 hectares area the native species, at least 4 to 5 years old sapling, and also think about transplanting. When he started doing, people appreciate it. See, that is where you need to look at the historical literature, understand the essence of science from that. You know, if you want to be successful. So that today's literature may not give you that thing. You know, today's notes I look at in the academic status of the notes being circulated among the engineering students. When I was a student of engineering, there was no notes business was there. Today it has become a commercial business. Very unfortunate thing, and the kids will read only that. And that too they scan it and look at it in the mobile. And just 2 days before the exam, they look at that note and they come to the exam, and exams are also stereotyped. Only from that they have understanding. Teacher, inefficient teacher has an understanding of the inefficient student. They also give the question on the same thing, and student will get what? 9.8, 9.87 kind of thing out of 10. I was wondering how they score that. They don't feel bad. We know, as a teacher, we know what is happening in the thing, but we will change the system also. We will not allow this to be inefficient for a long time like this, okay? So now let's look at how Bangalore temperature has changed, which was 21 degrees in 90s, became 24 degrees in 2000 and 28 degrees in 2010, and today it's about 34 to 37 degrees. And from the center of the city, we move in 8 directions. You see wherever lakes are there, wherever vegetation is there, temperature 2 degrees over, which shows that temperature has a linkage with the natural resource cover in the region. So then the other problem, the flooding, when you remove the lake, there are flooding happening in the region, and you see that. In fact, when the people look at this, they think that, oh, glacier in Bangalore. The people will come there and take 45 degrees Celsius and all, as if that's the greatest thing. But that is a pollution that is showing in the thing. You know, this is also gives an opportunity to do the science here. You know, you should look at what is the froth, why froth happens. You know, untreated sewage getting into the lake is creating the froth. You know, when you analyze the froth sample, you will be surprised to see that contains the phosphorus. And phosphorus comes from the detergent, which we use for washing the clothes. Now that means, you know, this is the froth, that is the thing. Now, if you want to attend the froth problem, you need to treat the sewage. Okay, but what is our 21st century, the engineers who are there in this organization do, who are all bookworms, you know, the notebook and all without agriculture, they put the barricade. They said that they solved the problem because the froth will not come to the road, they said. I wrote an article saying that your solution is only 4 days. What is the solution of this? Okay, then as I predicted, froth crossed over, came to the road on 5th day. So, see how we can predict what happens with this inefficient system. Okay, when the lake is polluted, it looks like this. See, when the lake is covered with the invasive species of macrophyte, you see the algal population comes down because there is no sunlight penetration. In after the sunlight, the algae doesn't grow, because of that fish doesn't grow. That is where the worth of the lake comes down to 20 rupees per hectare per day versus 10,500 rupees per hectare per day. Okay, now if you say that okay, lake is away, why should I worry? I did a study to see how it affects you also, those who are away from the lake. You know, the people grow vegetable in the surrounding area. The fish in the lake comes to our table as the food. I collected those samples. We analyzed. We found heavy metal in those the sample. You know, heavy metal in the vegetables. You know, pudina, spinach, and all those things, radish, etc. And fish, and even in milk and water. You know, the impact of that is the cancer is increasing in the city. Kidney failures are increasing in the city. Bangalore is number 1 as far as cancer is concerned. Kidney failure, which was 1 in 1 lakh about 12 years back, today is 1 in 5,000. You know, that is almost all wards in the city has the dialysis unit, which shows that, which was not the case when I was a kid. Not even one dialysis unit was there in Bangalore. One has to go to the Tamil Nadu, you know, Chennai or somewhere to get that dialysis. Or we have to ship the patient there. But today every neighbor has the kidney failure along with the brain failure. Okay. Now, you see that which section of the society is getting affected. You know, vulnerable section are the children. You know, when I have an environment education program where I interact with the schools, when I go to the Rambondali government school, 8th standard boy had lost her kidney. I thought it may be a problem in the government school. I went to the private school, adjacent KK English High School. In that school, LKG girl child had lost 1 kidney. In the 8th standard, 2 girls have lost both the kidneys. You know, after 4 months, I went to the school, I asked the principal, I want to talk to these kids who have lost the kidney. I thought something can be done. He told me that 1 girl is no more. You know that these children are asset of our nation, but we are killing them through the pollution. You know, that is what we have to do. You know, you all understand science. Unless you do the science properly and communicate this to the wider section of society, this is going to continue further. And when people face this kind of cancer and kidney failure, you know the amount of money they have to spend, only that family will understand. You know, when I visit somebody, they say that, you know, my brother-in-law is down with cancer. You know, the other day somebody who was criticizing me 10 years back, I said that cancer is going to be common in Bangalore. He said, you always talk as if things will happen. When his wife got cancer, he called me and told me, TVR, what you warned us about 10 years back has come true in my house. So that is the cost we are paying with all this irresponsible action. I said we need to rejuvenate the lake, Velanur and Vattur lake. You know, I prepared the print, the blueprint, how to rejuvenate. You know, some youth took my report to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, you know, Green Belt penalized government of Karnataka 500 crores. And that money is kept in escrow account. Now the lake is getting rejuvenated. My principle is decontaminate the lake. Whatever the contaminant is there, you have to remove it. And arrest the contaminant coming to the lake in the form of untreated sewage and industrial effluent. You know, if you want to decontaminate the lake, you have to de-silt the lake. How much silt is there and what is the quality of the silt? That is what we did. we did a sampling in the lake. Army came forward. They said, well, TVR, we will be with you. Army came, joined hand with me, and my students and army soldiers, we did the thing, 900 acre the lake. We collected the sample. And when we quantified the silt, we found it is about 11 million cubic meter of the silt is there in the lake. When I released this report, immediately some of the Bangaloreans wrote this one saying that, TVR is going to create a traffic problem in Bangalore by shifting 11 million cubic meter of the silt. We should not remove the silt. Then what I did is, I accepted their criticism. Yes, that is true. But I also came up with a solution because of the criticism. I had a meeting with local farmers. Local farmers said, sir, if there is no pollutant in that silt, we will take it. We did a quality assessment. We said that Vartur Lake doesn't have any contaminant. They can use it. I gave the silt to the 400 acre the farmers. I was a member of the Green Bench committee, so I could exercise the power. Probably more than what Chief Minister could exercise. In fact, some bureaucrat told me, if you have to give the silt to the farmer, they have to pay. I said, you pay for the thing, for the pollution. I will give freely, I said. Then after that, he didn't open his mouth. So I said, the lake is polluted because of his inaction. He has to pay. Okay? Then, after every month I visit the lake. When I went to the Vartur surrounding area, the farmers welcomed me with a bumper crop. Each farmer tells me they earned 1.5 lakh rupees per acre because of the bumper crop they got and not using fertilizer. Because of nutrient-rich soil, they didn't use the fertilizer. And because the nutrient-rich, they got the high yield. And the earning is 1,50,000 rupees per season, and they grow 3 times a year. The worth of the silt is, you can quantify that. 1.5 into 3 per year into 400, the worth of the silt for that small region. So when we look at the nutrient status of the silt, see, that's where we want the young talented brain to get up into the science. Again, if you look at, I can fertilize the soil in Punjab. If I look at the phosphorus, I can fertilize soil in Uttar Pradesh. If I look at the quantum of the potash, the K in the silt, I can fertilize the soil in Andhra Pradesh. And if I assign the economic value of that nutrient, it amounts to about 15,000 crores. When people said silt is a problem, I said 15,000 crore is sitting in that silt. So immediately people got a thing. I told somebody jovially, when I said 15,000 crore, every fellow will come with a bag and fill the silt and walk in, saying that he also can make the money. Okay. So then, I will tell you how I solved the God problem. There is a Gokarna temple. There is a Koti Tirtha is there. The pond, temple pond is there. Some youth wrote to me saying that they are getting a smell and they wanted me to introduce. Myself, my students, see, we don't go to temple on our own. When somebody invites, we go there and talk to God also. When we went there, we collected a water sample, we analyzed, we found organic content in the water. Why the organic content? People perform ritual and the 14-day anniversary and those rice balls and all those puja material, the Visarjana is done in the lake. I cannot stop that. What I did is, I had a meeting with the priest there. I had an understanding with them. I said that I will identify 2 locations in the lake. I didn't want to stop the practice. I said one I will call it Vaikunta, other one is Kailasa. If you do the Visarjana in Vaikunta, you have to pay 25 rupees. If you do in Kailasa, you have to do 50 rupees. That Vaikunta Kailasa notional thing, I have named it. Okay. And in the process, we have a revenue of 22 to 25,000 per month because I have a 200 family does the ritual in that region. And that is given to NGO. NGO has put 3 youth. Their job is to do the deweeding, remove those things, and take out rice ball from this location. Because it is done Visarjana designated location, it is easier. And they give it to cattle in Goshala. Now Gorakshaks are also happy because cattle is getting the result. And in the meanwhile, we introduce the fish which eats the rice. If you go to Sringeri, that particular result is available. Now for the last 5 years, the lake which was like this, before the Lord Shiva and his son Ganesha met me, today they get the abhishek of this water. Every day they are getting the abhishek of a clean water. Naturally, God must be happy. You agree? Look at my profile, last 5 years, kind of publication what I have done. Okay, we are one among the top 2% global scientists, high-ranking global scientists, my group. Okay, not only that, look at my awards. What has come, even without asking, it has come last year. You know, with all this criticism, no, the government should close its eyes about me. They gave me Rajya Sabha Award. So that is the way. Okay, that also gives you a hope. You know, when you do science without fear, the rewards will come to you. When you go behind rewards, looking for award, you will be unhappy. See, whereas we are happy because we have solved the problem. When children say that they are benefited because of our science, we get excited. Okay? Now, I'm in the concluding part. Another 3 minutes I will wind up. Okay? How we solve this wastewater treatment problem, I will tell you. See, Jatpur Lake, surrounding there were 25 wells were there when I did the first study in Jatpur Lake in 2005. All of them had nitrate. Nitrate is a carcinogen which introduces cancer. So then what I did is I pushed the government of Karnataka, you know, slightly senior to you all at that age. I pushed the government of Karnataka with my report, and government of Karnataka agreed for rejuvenation of the lake, and they constituted a committee. I was a member of the committee. You know, they gave the money which was not sufficient to treat the lake. So you know the wastewater treatment has 3 levels: primary, secondary, tertiary treatment. Primary treatment will remove large particle. Secondary treatment will remove the chemical ion. Tertiary treatment will remove the nutrient. My nitrate problem is a nutrient problem, but I cannot have tertiary treatment with the government money. So then I convinced the committee. I said we will have a nature-based solution. What I did is we implemented a secondary treatment plant with the water of the government money. Then we integrated this nature-based solution of constructed wetland and algal pond. Okay? And then after treatment, when the water comes to the lake, okay? Now last 10 years we have monitored the lake. I have put this report online. There are 300 wells are there in the surrounding area as against 25 earlier. None of them have nitrate. That means, you know, at least for those 300 well users, my science has given a good quality water. That is the satisfaction scientists get when we solve the problem of the community. Okay? So then, you know, the city of Bangalore generates 18 TMC of wastewater. If we treat that, we have 16 TMC of treated water. And if you do the rainwater harvesting, you know, 700 to 850 millimeter annual rain, you get 15 TMC of rainwater. If you see 15 plus 16, 31 TMC of water is available in Bangalore, where the demand is about 18 TMC. You know, for this to happen, I have a 5R formula. First R is a responsible citizen. When they are responsible, they rejuvenate the lake so that I can retain the rainwater. And also they will allow the reuse and recycle of the wastewater. Otherwise, when I talk like this, somebody will send a mail to me saying that TVR, why do you want us to drink sewage, treated sewage? I always write back to them saying that I traveled from Mysore to Bangalore. Unfortunately or fortunately, when I travel, I see Kaveri carrying the Mysorean sewage, and you are all drinking the Mysorean sewage. Instead of drinking the Mysorean sewage, I am saying that you drink your own sewage. That is the best option than drinking someone else's sewage. Don't you sound very see, that's how you have to communicate to the people who do not understand in simple words. Okay? Then what else we have done? See, this is a lake in the campus, you know, for wet lab for my student to do the biofuel cell. The algae is cultured there naturally. You know, not only students are happy, I have an otter in the campus. And also when people meet me, I'll also make them to think about water. You know, there was a water crisis in 2014-15. This saint came to know that I am in Mangalore in 2016 at St. Aloysius. He called me and then said, can you come to my ashram, which is about 45 kilometers away? I said, I can come to you after my class and all the sessions are over, which is at 7 o'clock in the evening. I will travel to your place. When I reached 8:30, he listened to me. Whatever the presentation I gave, he listened to that. And then he said, I have 12 acres of land. And I have the water crisis in Mudbidre. I said, there are 32 lakes in Mudbidre. If you can rejuvenate it, you are solving the problem of Mudbidre forever, I said. He said, I don't have money. I said, you do at least 1 or 2. Because you are a saint, when you do 2, remaining 30, I will get it done through the community, I said. We got, you know, the saint did 2 lakes rejuvenation, other 30, the community did it as I anticipated. You know, the last year, when there was a scanty rainfall in Karnataka, Mudbidre didn't face water crisis because of this lake rejuvenation and retaining the rainwater in the previous year. Not only that, we gave a proposal to him to implement, to put a lake in his campus in his 12 acres land, which he had mentioned to us during the discussion. We identified the lowest point, what is the size of the pond, etc. Believe it or not, 15 days he created the water body. On June 5th, when the first shower happened, he shares this water, the photograph with me. You know, the success is because of the youth. You know, the young student from Harvard Science and Engineering College were part of that rejuvenation. Even Harvard CEO is quite young. You know, I felt, okay, youth means it's easier to communicate. See, after I convince them, they are silent. Like that, I convince the youngsters. At the end, they will start respecting me and start showing affection. So they feel that I am one among them. So that is how we drive home the messages. So then I told him, why don't you create a water body in his campus? We gave a proposal which stores 25 lakh liters of water. He also took up the planting of native species in the catchment area. You know, next year when I went as a guest faculty professor there, visiting professor, I see greenery with water. There is a smile on our face. And all of you will reach this stage sometime in your life. Okay, you are a student today. Like you, he is also bachelor when he met me for the first time. And you are searching to get married. You know, unlike Bangalorian, no, all these faceless fellows, search in the Facebook and get married. And next month they will think about how to file the divorce paper. But this man gets a partner, wonderful partner who take care of the joint family. Even today when I go there after 4 years, she doesn't want me to stay in the guest house. She wants me to be in their house. But look at Bangalore. When I go to somebody's house and knock at the door, they say we are not at home. I ask them, who is shouting at me from inside? Is there a ghost? See, look at the culture. Where there is a culture, there is a prosperity. Where culture is lacking, Samskriti is lacking, you see that poverty of the resources and all those things happens. Okay? Then that is what we communicate to the wider section of the society. You know, this is my campus. You know, this climber. You know, at your age, you know, you will get attracted to all unwanted things, okay? But I was attracted to this climate. I looked at that architecture. You know, I always say, learn from nature. Look at this way that there is a clockwise and anti-clockwise. In between it leaves a gap. It is a clockwise and then leave a gap and then anti-clockwise. This prevents a coiling. This is a technology used in your telephone handset to prevent coiling, okay? Now, I was fascinated by this. I felt I should have it in Bangalore, that in IISC campus. What I did is I got the pot which had 14 seeds. Out of 14 seeds, 7 seeds I have kept in my lab. It is there even today. Okay, out other 7 I planted in 7 locations. Out of 7 locations, only 1 has survived. Even though it is all planted by me in various locations, same kind of environment, only 1 has survived. Why? Because it is next to the building where I have been working. That every day when I was going out and coming in, I used to talk to that plant. Notice that. You know, plants also identify you. That is what you need to understand. That's where I say, when you have a tension or when you have stress, best way is to go and hug a tree. You are relieved. Most best option is go and hug your mother. If you are staying in the hostel, go and hug a tree. It de-stresses you. You know, that's what when people come to me, when I do the counseling, I just take them to some pretext. I take them for my field work. I say that you spend half an hour hugging a tree. And after that in the evening they say, sir, today we are feeling somewhat different. I say that's what happens when you have an intimate relationship with Mother Nature. Okay? So now, in front of that building, we created a mini forest in a 2 hectares area. 49 native species, 500 saplings were planted. Way back in 90s when I was a student. And when you come and see there, today, you get a feel of the rainforest. Now, earlier 90s, there was a parthenon. Today you come and search for parthenon, you won't get it. That means native species will remove the invasive species. Then groundwater, which was 150 feet at that time, today I have the water at 10 or 15 feet. Temperature is 2 degrees lower. Okay? And not only that, you see, I have a variety of the biological organisms, slender lollies, varieties of birds there. I don't have to go anywhere else for recreation. I don't have to go depend on mobile for recreation. For me, the recreation through my window, I get it. So that's how, see, that's where I am not a slave of technology. I develop the technology for community to use, but not a slave of that. Okay, so that is what we communicate to the wider structural society. We have the various environmental education program. We communicate to the children whatever we have learned, and we also offer a course on environmental management for the faculty from universities and from the industries to people. 22 sessions I have done. This is in addition to my regular teaching for my PhD and master students at IISC. Okay, then we organize a symposium popularly known as Lake Symposium once in 2 years. There are 14 sessions I have done. Uniqueness of the event is there are international and the national delegates come for the event around 1,000. Out of that, 30% are the school students. The school students, college students, they do a simple experiment like carbon sequestration, water quality assessment. They come to IISC, do the presentation. When they do a presentation in presence of people like me, they get excited. That's how the capacity building happens. The students who have taken part earlier, they have become professors in IIT, IISC, etc. That is how we contribute to the system and nation building. And recently, one of the wetland, earlier there are no wetland, Ramsar wetland in Karnataka. Because of our science, we could convince the government of India as well as the Ramsar Secretariat. We got the Ramsar tag to the Aganashni estuary in Uttar Kannada district. Along with that, another 3 wetlands also got Ramsar tag. I am a member of the wetland authority. Okay, this is the report which we gave to the Ramsar Secretariat. And this is the livelihood dependence. 7,000 families depend on this one. That is the kind of the resources they get. 1 hectare, 1 year, 1 million rupees worth of the goods people extract. Okay? And look at the lifestyle. My lab, I don't use, there is a simple LED bulb and solar energy above my head and the thing. And we have the water body with us. And when we conduct symposium, 1,000 people, no plastic. Steel plates, and you see the nature friendly this one. Okay? So, and this is, one of the organizations gave us this bag from the saree. What was a saree yesterday, today bag, attractive bag. People like it. Okay? So, and our lifestyle is low carbon. We travel by cycle and by the metro, etc. Why I put this thing? You can also practice that. Your parents may be well off, but don't think about that. Keep that money for tomorrow, because we do not know for what purpose you require that money. Okay? See, my agenda of science is to sow the seeds of knowledge in this young brain and give them to the country. They become sensible, and when they become sensible, they will be responsible. That's what my country requires. I don't want one more person who is irresponsible on the earth. I want responsible citizens in my country. If you need more detail, this is the location where you can and you can contact me through my email. Okay, and the website looks like this. Okay, and you can also get my talk on the online. YouTube. There are a lot of talks are there, TED talks and all are there. You can have a look at it. This gives a glimpse of the water testing lab which I have created in various institutions, in the rural schools. Okay, see, agenda of our science is when these youngsters do a good shine, there is a smile on our face. Thank you very much.